Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we are going to solve a question of equivalent production using weighted average method. Now let us first read the question. We have opening balance of 5000 units where material, labor, overheads are separately given to us as 18,750, 7,500 and 3750. So first thing to note down is we can do weighted average only when this bifurcation is given to us for opening stock. Otherwise weighted average will not be possible. Now, output is given as 17,500 units, input 15,000 units. Normal loss is 10% of the total input. Total input means our input of 15,000 plus opening stock of 5,000. Then this year's cost, material 2,50,000, labor 1,95,000 and overheads 97,500. Our closing stock completion is material 100%, labor and overhead is 50%. So as I said, our first working would be calculation of normal and abnormal loss or gain. This is our first working. Okay, the closing stock completion, closing stock units are not given. Closing stock units are 200 units. 200 units is our closing stock. Now, let us calculate. First would be the opening stock. Opening stock is 5,000 units. Our opening WIP stock plus fresh input. Fresh input is 15,000. What we get is our total input. Now our total input is 20,000. Next we'll deduct our normal loss. Normal loss is 10% of the total input. So less normal loss. Normal loss given is 10% of the total input. So that would be 10% of 20,000. That is 2,000. So we are left with 18,000 units. This is my expected output. This is my expected output. Less actual output. Actual output is 17,500 and I have closing WIP as 200 units. So what I get is 300 units. Since it's a positive answer, that means we have abnormal loss. So my abnormal loss is 300 units. This would be our first working where we have calculated our abnormal loss. Let's go ahead. Let us now prepare the statement of equivalent production. You can see that everywhere our percentage of completion is same for labor and overhead. So again we are going to prepare one column for labor and overheads. In case anywhere the percentages are given separately, we'll have to prepare two columns separately for labor and overheads. So, statement of equivalent production under weighted average method. Now, normal format, what we have, particulars, units. Then we prepare separately for material percentage equivalent units, labor and overhead. Since the percentage is same, we are making one column. Otherwise, I would have made a separate column for both of them. Right. So this is our statement of equivalent production is ready. The format is ready. Now, what do we always start with? We always start with our output. So the first point is output. What is our output? Our output is 17,500 units. Now, we are not following FIFO here. We are following weighted average. Now, what happens under weighted average? Under weighted average, we don't know which units have actually become my output. It is not necessary that we always start with opening balance under weighted average. It can be any units. Maybe it is a mixture of opening WIP as well as my input, or maybe all the units, all 5,000 units of opening WIP and the remaining units from the input. Or there may be a case that the total 17,500, 15,000 is my fresh input and the rest is from opening WIP. Anything can happen. But I am sure that since it is my output, that means it is a finished good. That means it will be complete 100% in all respect. Now, ma'am, you are right that it will be 100% complete. But what if it contains opening WIP? Opening WIP, some portion of it is made last year also. Yes, very correct. But I am sure whether made this year or taken help from last year, it is 100% complete. Now, this is the major difference between FIFO and weighted average. Under FIFO, what we get here, the equivalent units, those equivalent units are for the current period only. But under weighted average method, this takes into consideration the last year's opening balance completion also. So that means here a part of it has been taken from last year. We have taken the help of last year. Okay, but as I told you, I am sure that it is 100% complete whether completed this year or a part of it is completed last year. So 17,500 units and 17,500 units. Next is normal loss. Normal loss 2,000 units. Again, since this is normal loss and we cannot give the cost to it, it would be 0 here. Next, closing WIP. Now, closing WIP, 200 units, the degree of completion is given to me. So, 200 units, degree of completion with respect to material 100% and with respect to labor and overhead 50%. So, that would be 200 units and 50%, so 100 units. Next, the last one is abnormal loss. We have abnormal loss of 300 units. Since the degree of completion is not given here, we will assume that abnormal loss is 100% complete in all respects. So that would be 300 and 100%, again 300. So what we get here is the equivalent units, that is 18,000 and here 17,900. This is our equivalent units. So what is the major difference under statement of equivalent production under FIFO and weighted average? Under FIFO, what we do here is we bifurcate whether we have received from the opening stock, how many units from the opening stock, how many units from the fresh input. Here we don't do that. Directly we are writing output. Simple है ना ये better है. We directly write the output like this. So this is our equivalent production with respect to material 18,000, with respect to labor and overhead 17,900. So this completes our step 2 as well. We have prepared our statement of equivalent production. Now what is step 3? Step 3, we calculate the cost per equivalent unit. So step 3, or let me just step 3, calculation of cost per equivalent unit. Now, material cost. This year, the material cost was 2,50,000. So 2,50,000. Is there any scrap value given for the normal loss? No. So the scrap value is 0. Now, scrap value is 0. What about now? This is the cost for this year. As I was doing the equivalent production table, I had told you that that production has taken the help from last year. A portion of that is opening WIP, has been taken from last year. Now here I don't know. See, what happens in FIFO is I'm very sure that my opening stock is in output, right? But here I don't know where is my opening stock sitting. I don't know whether it is there in my output, in my closing WIP, in my normal loss, abnormal loss. Where is it? I have no clue. So what do I do in that case? In that case, I average out my opening stock cost also. So under FIFO, we used to deal with the opening WIP cost in the next step, where we used to add it directly to the output cost. यहाँ पे क्या करेंगे हम? We take it a step ahead. If I write down here the opening WIP cost 18,750 and I divide this total cost by 18,000 units, what will happen? This 18,750 is distributed between 18,000 equivalent units. So everyone gets a small portion of the WIP. That is why it is weighted average method. So in this case, our equivalent unit cost of a material would be that is equal to rupees 14.9306. Now, I have purposefully taken this question where the numbers are in decimal. Whenever you get the numbers in decimal, I always prefer you take up to 4 decimals. So per equivalent unit. Now coming to labor. Labor cost for this year is 1,95,000 plus the labor cost of my opening WIP, because I want to average this cost also, divided by 17,900 equivalent units. That is 1,95,000 plus 7,500 divided by 17,900. That is equal to rupees 11.3128 per equivalent unit. And the next one, overheads. Overhead cost is 97,500 plus 3,750 divided by 17,900 units. That is equal to rupees 5.6564. per equivalent unit. So we are done with step 3 where we calculated the cost per equivalent. Then after the next step, I have just written down all the equivalent cost for material, labor and overheads. So because of the space constraint, I have written down this and erased everything else. The next step is our calculation of value of finished goods, closing WIP and abnormal loss. So, finished goods. Finished goods are 17,500 and it is complete in all respect, whether material, labor or overheads. So, into, I can write a total of this. The total of this is 31.8998. Since it is completed with respect to material, labor and overhead, my equivalent units are same. You can go and check your equivalent production table. 31.8998. That is equal to rupees 5,58,246.5. Next is our closing WIP. Closing WIP 200 units, 100% complete with respect to material. So 14.9306 plus 50% complete with respect to labor and overheads. So 100 into 11.3128 plus 100% 100 into 5.6564. That is equal to 200 into 14.9306, 100 into 11.3128 and 100 into 5.6564. That is rupees 4,683.04. Next is our abnormal loss. We took abnormal loss as 100% complete in all respect. So we can directly do 100 into 31.8998. That is equal to 3189.98. Now, so we have got the values. Our last step is preparation of process account. Process account, let us quickly make the format. Yes. So, we are going to start with our opening stock. So, to opening WIP, we had 5,000 units for a total cost of 30,000. I hope you have written down the question. 30,000 to material cost for 17,500 units was 2,95,000. Next, to labor and to overheads. Our labor cost was 1,95,000 and our overheads cost is 97,500. Now here by normal loss we had 2,000 units but there was no scrap value. By output, it can be anything to the next process, to finished goods, anything. By output, 17,500 units, and the cost of 17,500 units is 5,58,246.5. By abnormal loss, we had 300 units. Oh, sorry, it will be 300 units here. So 300 into 31.8998, that is equal to 9569.94. 9569.94. And the last one is by closing stock. Closing stock value for 200 units, it is given to us as 4683.04. So what we get here is 4683.04. Okay, first let us total this. 2,95,000 plus 30,000 plus 1,95,000 plus 97,500. A total of, this is 15,000 units. A total of 20,000 units, and the cost of this is 6,17,500. 6,17,500. Let's go and check there. Okay, this is 2,50,000. So this would be 5,72,500, and here there's a small difference of 52 rupees, which I am going to adjust here as 7, and this I can make it as 6. I get the same answer as 572,500, and here we have 20,000 units. So we are done with our process account. We have tallied everything. There's a small difference because of our decimals, and that is when I had taken 4 decimals. If I would have taken 2 decimals, the difference would have been much more. That is why it is always suggested that you take up to 4 decimals. Thank you. I hope you liked the video. Please keep subscribing, liking, and sharing my videos. Thank you.